Welcome back to the weekly grocery haul, and it's a big one this week. I haven't been able to go to Costco, so I've had to buy a little bit extra than what I normally would. And also I was running low on some of the more staple items that I needed, and Tesco, which is where I shop, had a couple of offers on, which meant that I have bulk bought ready for future weeks. So I've spent a lot more than I usually spend. My normal weekly budget is around the £100 mark. I have spent well over £200 this week. I have bought a heap of stuff. I need to quickly organise it because the kids helped me to bring it in, and it is higgledy-piggledy. So let me quickly do that, and then I'll show you everything that I got this week. When I mean higgledy-piggledy, I mean higgledy-piggledy. So give me probably 5 minutes and then I'll be right back. I've managed to get some kind of order together. Frozen staples, fridgy bits, snacky bits, drinks, and then meat at the end. So let me show you everything that I bought this week. Starting with frozen items then. Grabbed a couple of boxes of ice creams this week. I'm slowly trying to stockpile ready for the summer, so I buy a couple of boxes every week or so. This week I got the summer edition strawberry and vanilla cones. Then I also got the toffee and vanilla cones. So ready for summer. If you've been following me for a while, then you know I get these pretty much every other week. They are the basic range, the Hearty Food Company range battered fish, and I get 2 packets, so there's enough for all of us. My kids just love these, and I quite like them as well. Feels like a bit like a, not a treat, but I don't often do this kind of food, like oven food. I often make most of my stuff with lots of ingredients. This is one of the few meals where there's not loads of vegetables in it, so my kids really enjoy it. So I pretty much always get these, and I think they're still around £2 a box, so still really reasonable when you've got a big family. I didn't really get many freezer items here, so ice cream, some fish, and then these are the only last little bits that I got. Some broccoli and cauliflower florets. I'm struggling to speak today, apologies. Some southern fried chicken strips, because I'm really into chicken wraps at the moment, and I like it when the chicken is breaded. Some puff pastry, which technically isn't frozen, but I'm going to freeze it. And then some hash browns. If I'm honest, I might start phasing these out because these are getting ridiculously expensive now. These are over £2 a bag at the moment, which is crazy. But that's everything that I got for the freezer. Other items that I freeze that aren't, like, that don't come frozen then. Bread. I get this toasty one. I believe it's 1 penny more than the basic range. I just get cheap bread because we're just using it for toast. It's not like a delicacy in this house. And then I get a bunch of milk, and I freeze my milk as well so that I never have to worry about running out of bread and milk. I grabbed some crumpets this week because there was an offer on them, so they were less than £1 for a packet of crumpets. And then I bought 4 packets of wraps because my kids have wraps for their sandwiches instead of sandwiches. So for packed lunch, they take a wrap. A handful of pantry items this week. A massive bag of the fusilli pasta. It's not actually cheapest to do it this way. I normally buy the penne pasta, the basic range penne pasta, and buy like 4 bags of it. But my kids have been really enjoying the spirally ones, so for a bit of a change, we've been doing this. And then I get 4 cans of chopped tomatoes and 4 cans of baked beans every single week, and just stockpile them in the pantry because you can pretty much make any meal as long as you've got both of those items. We are going through a lot more eggs recently because I've basically phased out cereal. So I got 2 boxes of medium eggs, I think it was, medium size? I can't remember. Yes, medium size. 2 boxes of those. I've still got some left over from last week, but when we do scrambled egg on toast, I'm using kind of 10 to 12 eggs. So I need a lot of eggs. Then I grabbed some coffee, some peanut butter, again just the basic range. If you have been following me, you know I buy basic range of pretty much everything, and then I work my way up from there. So basic range of ketchup, basic range of mayonnaise, and these are new, basic range cheese twists. Quick side note around basic range stuff. We're a big family here. I've got 4 children and we eat a lot of food, and in order to keep it reasonable, I have to start at the bottom. So we eat basic range, the lowest level of stuff you can buy from supermarkets. And then if I cannot stomach it and the kids cannot stomach it, we go up 1 level. This is a trick I learned from my mom. It's very easy to go up levels. It's really hard to go down. So there's been a few times where I've had to go down on stuff like butter and things, and it is difficult to do because you get used to nice stuff. So start at the bottom. If it really is really challenging to eat those things and you don't like it, just go up 1 and you will save yourself an absolute fortune. Just switching from branded items to supermarket owned brands saves you an absolute fortune. So if you're in a pinch and that's what you need to do, try that tip first. Last few pantry bits then, some Ritz crackers, some spaghetti. Again, I try to have a couple of packets on hand in the pantry at all times because it's easy to make a very basic quick meal if you need. And then I got some plain flour and I picked up some yeast. I have started homesteading again. I live in a city. A little while ago I had an urban homestead and I was making lots of stuff from scratch, and we had chickens and quails and a duck and growing our own vegetables. I've started doing that again and I'd like to start making my own food in the home again. So I picked up some yeast and I'm going to relearn how to do bread, and hopefully won't need to buy these things anymore because I'll be making my own bread. So we shall see how this goes. Lots of fruits, vegetables, fresh produce this week. My kids are eating through fruit like you wouldn't believe. So I am buying doubles of everything. 2 packets of oranges. I've got 2 packets of apples. I buy strawberries, carrots, peppers, bananas, 2 packets of potatoes, just the all-rounder potatoes, and I use them for everything. The bigger ones are jackets, the smaller ones get used for mash and roasties. I've got mushrooms, 2 avocados, a broccoli, a courgette and 2 cucumbers, a bunch of salad, the baby leaf salad, the wild rocket salad. This is mostly for myself, not really for my kids. They don't tend to enjoy salad. I keep making them try it, but they don't love it. A big packet of onions, and then blueberries, raspberries, and a punnet of grapes. That generally sees us through for an entire week. Second quick tip, I do not go back to the shop. This is what I've bought for the week. If I run out, I run out, and I'm making it work until the following week. If I go back to the shop, I know I'm going to end up buying extra stuff in the supermarket. I know myself. I'm the type of person who enjoys spending money, and I will find something else to buy whilst I'm in there, inevitably ending up spending over budget and more than I should. And I don't enjoy that. So with trying to stick to budgets, I buy my shop, I do it online. I personally do it online, but go once a week and then don't buy it again. Most things you can make do without. Most things you can swap something out. If you don't have an onion, it's not the end of the world. I promise you, it's not the end of the world. Cook your dinner without an onion and it will work. Unless it's some kind of onion soup, you can pretty much make it work. And then you get really good at cooking as well, because you're having to chop and change stuff all the time. Use a different vegetable, use up what you've got in the fridge. I personally really enjoy doing that. I actually find I'm a better cook when there's less food in the house, because you have to be a little bit creative, and I quite enjoy doing that. But make sure you've got the staples that you need. Bulk buy the items like the bread, the milk, things that you can freeze and have on hand so you never run out. And then see whether you can go the entire week without popping back to the shop. I promise you, you will save a fortune. Onto the fridge. This is where things get a little bit more bougie, and there are a few more brands. So, Lurpak. I normally buy my Lurpak from Costco. I think I've said this in so many of my food haul videos. It's so cheap in Costco to do it that way. It ends up being only £1 or 2 more than buying normal margarine or butter. This is obviously butter mixed with rapeseed. But when you get it from Costco, you get, I think it's either $7.50 or a kilogram. So it's much bigger, and it's the same price as one of these little ones. So you are saving yourself an absolute fortune. Same for Philadelphia. I buy that in Costco and it works out cheaper. You can get the big family pack for less than £2. The problem is that when I don't have an opportunity to get to Costco, I'm so used to those brands now. Remember what I said about it's easier to go up than it is to go down. I'm so used to these brands that the one week I tried Clover, nobody would eat it. So here we are. They did have an offer on in Tesco, so I bought the smaller pack rather than the big pack because they had an offer on the smaller pack. Same for the Philadelphia. I don't buy them in Tesco unless there's offers. I just make do or just use normal butter because this is the same price every week. But soft cheese, the pack, 2 packs of butter. These are my new little favourite things. I love taking yogurt and berries to work, but I hate having to scoop it into Tupperware. And Tesco do these little, it's not actual Greek yogurt, it's Greek style yogurt, which from what I've understood just means that it's from cows in the UK. So I don't really get that funny about it, but they're individual little pots. So I just take a pot, take my berries, sorted. I love it so much. So I get some of those every week, just enough to cover my work days, and I get some of the, again, Creamfields, the basic range of the berries yogurts and the Sunshine Fruits yogurts, and my kids can have those throughout the week as well. As my kids are getting older, I'm noticing we're going through a lot more food, so I'm now having to double up. So things like ham, I used to be able to get 1 pack and that would cover everyone's lunches throughout the week. I'm now having to buy 2. Again, it's still just the Eastman's, that's the basic range of the ham. But I have to get 2 of those. Same for cheese, I'm getting 2 blocks of cheese. Cheese lasts forever though, so I do tend to bulk buy it and always have one in the fridge. Because again, nice and easy to be making stuff if you've always got cheese. 2 packs of the yogurts, 2 packs of the pepperonis. I've got 3 children who are now in school packed lunches. They have school packed lunches and I like their lunches to be nice. Want them to have stuff that they enjoy, not just, you know, I grew up just with some very basic lunches and I want my kids to have really cool stuff in their pack ups. So I buy these things when they're on offer, bulk buy them, have them in the fridge. I just do it. Smoked salmon, 2 of those. This actually, I need to talk about this real quick. Hang on. I learnt all of my money saving stuff from my mum, who was incredibly thrifty and was able to feed us very well. 4 of us, we had 4, there was 4 kids in my family, for not very much money. She did an exceptional job, but that meant that there's certain foods that I just didn't really eat until I was an adult, and smoked salmon was one of them. I don't remember ever seeing it in my fridge, but I really enjoy smoked salmon. As an adult, I tried it, really enjoyed it, and I have been for the last few years buying it for myself and having smoked salmon and avocado or whatever. I let my kids try it and guess what? They all love it. And now I buy 2 packs a week when it's on offer. Again, when it's on offer, because it's expensive. And we have smoked salmon and eggs on toast, and it's just quite nice. And I think there is an element of myself, whilst I'm trying to be really thrifty, this is the thing, I could save so much money. I could probably do my food shop for, I think I could do a food shop in a pinch for kind of £60. I reckon I could feed our entire family for like £60 for the week. But that does end up reducing what you eat. It does. And if you're really struggling, it's a great, like, to know that you can do it. It's a great knowledge to know that you can do it. But when I'm a bit more comfortable, it's nice to have some nicer things in the home so that my children are eating varied diet. I want them to have the world opened up to them and not think that life is just really small and the world is really small. And I enjoy getting to eat those foods with them and knowing that they have a really varied diet. So smoked salmon is so bougie, and I am aware that for the last however many years I've been talking about ways to save money and how to do a food shop really cheap, and this doesn't feel like it aligns with that, but it does. I just make it part of my budget now, and I know that if we were really, really tight again, I just wouldn't buy this stuff. It would be fine. And at some point I will do a really basic how I do a food shop for a teeny tiny amount of money and feed my children very well. And this won't be in there, but it is this week and I'm happy with it. So yes, that was about the smoked salmon. So pepperonis for lunch. I get these tubes for lunch. Truthfully, I do this because then I don't have to send them in with spoons. I did start buying some wooden spoons at one point, but it makes the lunch boxes really messy as well. And I'm a woman who needs time saving, so I just get these, fold them into the lunchbox. It's nice and easy. And then I get this salad cheese. See, this is such a juxtaposition. I'm buying smoked salmon, but I won't buy actual feta because it's £2 more expensive, so I buy salad cheese. I am ridiculous. I also buy these John West fridge pot tunas. Oh, I think we're a bit out of focus here. Again, I buy the John West no drain tuna from Costco, and then when I need to buy it from Tesco, I normally buy the canned version from Tesco, but they don't have to do the cans anymore. They only do this fridge pot, which is the same price. It's not more expensive. It's just now in a plastic container rather than a metal container, and you can open it and reseal it. I don't know, seems very odd to have chosen to do that, but there we go. I buy enough to last me for work. Do you know what I do? I take the pot, I take some mayonnaise, and I make a little tuna mayo, and then I chop up cucumber and I eat it with cucumber, and it is just delicious and a massive protein hit. So there you go, if you're trying to get your protein in. On to drinks. I have pretty much stopped buying squash. So I'm now buying just fruit juices, and then the kids have fruit juice, water or milk. I buy these little dash drinks for myself. They're water with it's like wonky fruit is put in, and because they were on offer, I bought one of every flavour this week. So I bought the what have I got? I've got raspberry, peach, lime, which I've not tried, and the grapefruit. This one I tried last week and it's delicious. If you're going to try one flavour, this is the flavour to try. And then I did buy a big box even, of cans of Diet Coke. This is to stock up ready for summer because we're getting into barbecue season, which means we're getting into hosting season. So I'm starting to pick up the bits like bottles of alcohol, fizzy pops, those kind of things, so that when friends and stuff come over, I've got them ready in the pantry, ready to go. And it doesn't feel like I have to do a massive food shop that costs me £500 all in one go. I'm just pretty much prepped. Snacky bits and things for lunches then. I get the big Tesco bag, the variety pack that is generally enough crisps to last us the week. If there's anything that goes fast, it's these, because I love crisps and so do the kids. So 30 packets, whilst that should last the week, sometimes doesn't. So then I also buy a snack pack of something. I've bought Doritos this week. These are for the kids' lunches. I only buy these when they're on offer because, again, they're really expensive, but the kids love them. They are the Yo-Yo Bear version. They're just fruit in them, which is great. These are the splits because they were the ones that were on offer. They normally have the yo-yos, like the round ones, but this is what we got this week. And then some chocolate bars for the kids' lunches, toffee crisps, the wafers, which are kind of like Kit Kats, and then timeouts. Again, I just buy whatever is on offer that week. Whatever I can get that's like around the £1 mark, that's what I pick up. I got a lot of meat this week. I don't normally buy this much meat in one go, but I am pretty much completely out of my stockpile in the freezer. So let me run through. These are for barbecue season. 6 maple barbecue pork loin steaks, and Tesco had an offer where it was like 2 for £8, so I then bought mince as well. I buy the big mince, I chop it in half, it makes 2 meals. Because my kids are young, I can still get away with that, but they're starting to eat a lot of food now, so we're almost to the point where that's not going to be a thing anymore. I bought some beef stir-fry strips, obviously for a stir-fry, and then got some meatballs. I buy the 24 pack of meatballs, not the frozen ones. I freeze them once I've got them. They're just a bit nicer. And then I do spaghetti meatballs. These were on offer, and whenever they're on offer, I buy at least 2 and put them in the freezer because they make a really quick, easy dinner if needs be. It's the smoked pork sausage. And then I bought a couple of packets of actual sausages as well. So I bought 16 in total Lincolnshire pork sausages. Again, these are just one up from the basic range. The basic range has got like no pork in it, and they're not very tasty. They're very eggy. So I get the one up. And then I buy myself some chicken sausages for meal prepping. I play rugby. I'm trying to be a bit more mindful about protein intakes and hitting my macros, so I buy chicken sausages and then meal prep food for when I'm at work. This was on offer, so I bought it. Random. I've never bought anything like this. Truthfully, I thought it was going to be a lot bigger because the price of this normally was £8 and I would never pay £8 for this. Look at that. Ridiculous. It's a honey glazed gammon joint. I don't know if that's going to feed all of us, but I'm going to give it a go. If I bulk it out with vegetables, it might be okay, but for a roast dinner, maybe 1 week. And then I bought the massive pack, I think it's 1.6 kilos of chicken breasts, which, look, obviously it's, it feels like half the pack's nicking, but that's supposedly 1.6 kilograms. Anyway, I divide it up, I freeze it. Happy days. Just a handful of non-perishables this week. Some toilet tissue, shampoo and conditioner. I get these electrolyte tablets. I really should just buy these from High Five because I think they're cheaper, but you have to put in a bulk order and I didn't have time. So bought some of these for rugby again. Some toilet tissue. You'll notice that I'm buying a Tesco toilet tissue, and if you've been following me, you know I get this from Costco. I haven't had the opportunity. I don't have time in the next week or so, so I'm buying this to tide me over, and then we'll do a big toilet roll haul hopefully soon, and a big Costco haul. Some of these duck refills. This is a complete luxury item, but I love the way they make my bathroom smell. I get these duck discs and I stick them on the toilets. Some hand wash, the new Bayliss and Harding scent, tropical fruit cocktail. Actually, I don't think it is new, but I've not tried it before, so they had an offer and I thought I'd give that one a go. And then at the moment, I'm just buying this Sanex deodorant for my gym bag. I needed a new one. They're like £1.25 and I'm really happy with it. So I got one of those as well. That's what I got. I'm just going to pull up how much I actually spent this week. I know it was over £200, but I can't quite remember. £221.45, so a lot more than what I would normally spend. We're normally I think I've already said we're normally around the £100 mark, 120 really. With inflation, we've started creeping towards that a little bit more, especially if I want to eat the amount of stuff that we currently eat and make sure I've got the same kind of items. But this week was a bigger shop. I'm not being able to get to Costco, so a lot of the stuff I can't get from there, so I've incorporated some of that budget. And I was completely out of food because I actually didn't do a weekly shop last week, so this is kind of 2 weeks plus a little bit of a Costco haul all merged into one. So actually I'm pretty happy that I only spent that much money. I think that's pretty good, and I've definitely got enough here to last me a couple of weeks as well. Things you need to know. I'm now homesteading, and with that I'm trying to be more mindful about what I buy. And this is going to change, this stuff's going to change, and some of that's going to be really exciting, and actually some of that I think is going to feel like a bit of a sacrifice. But I'm wanting to become a family who are a bit more mindful about the environment and a bit more mindful about what we're consuming. We're in such a consumerist society where we're just buying stuff impulsively without really thinking, and I just want to be more mindful of it. I enjoy buying stuff, I enjoy spending money, but I'm trying to work out whether I enjoy that because I've been conditioned to enjoy it, and whether actually making my own stuff I would find the same enjoyment. That's going to be a very slow process. There's not going to be an overnight thing, because there's a lot of stuff here that I've bought that doesn't align with those kind of thinking patterns. It's going to be slow. I'm a single mom, I run a couple of businesses, I have a very busy life. I need convenience and I need organization, and sometimes that looks like buying certain things because it is convenient and easy. And that's okay. There is no judgment around that. I certainly am not judgy of what anyone else buys. Personally, I enjoy watching the videos where people have spent an absolute fortune on everything because it's lots of fun. But in order to reach the goals that I want to reach for myself and my family, I need to start changing what I'm doing a little bit, and I plan on doing that on this platform and showing you the journey. So if you're into those sorts of things, if you're into like being more mindful of stuff, swapping out what, like seeing what you can make instead of buy, growing your own stuff, homesteading, organization, those kind of things, this is going to be the place for you. I'm going to go on that journey. I would love to bring you along with me. Let's see if I even manage it. I don't know. I might get a few weeks in and then just realize this is really difficult and I don't have any time. So who knows? They make it look easy, don't they, in all of the American vlogs where they all live on farms, but maybe it's not that easy. I'm going to sign off here and I'm going to pop all of this stuff away and feed my kiddos some dinner. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe. Welcome if you are new. We've had a whole influx of followers over the last week or so. I had a couple of Instagram reels that went viral, so people have come over here as well. We're now over 2,000 followers, 2,000 subscribers. It's very exciting. It's really cool to have you here. I hope that you stay. That would be great. Until then, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.